Now we are live. Good evening, everyone. On the occasion of International Yoga Day, I welcome you all in the second session of a celebration of Yoga Day by Khyati Education and Scientific Research Foundation. Now in this session, we have a very important topic, talk on very important topic, which is related to yoga. And the topic name is Yoga, Diet and Healthy Well-being, is presented by our expert, Dr. Chandrasekhar R. Before that, I would like to introduce yourself with Khyati Education and Research Foundation. It is a non-profit society registered under Government of India with a vision of various accredited vocational courses in healthcare, education, paramedical, yoga, marma chikitsa, publication, development of content writing skill, etc. And we are also providing courses that's different from other and producing support system to the students to experience professionals who provide guidance and knowledge for improve their skills and helps to become successful in the life with the new education policies. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Chandrasekhar R. He's Assistant Professor and Researcher, Department of Pharmacology, Institute of Medical Science and Research Center, Mangalore, Karnataka. He is the Editor-in-Chief of International Journal of Comprehensive and Advanced Pharmacology and Consultant and Family Physician in Mediscope Clinic and Laboratory, Jayanti Complex. Welcome, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. And now I would like to request you to present your talk on the very important topic on yoga, diet, and healthy well-being. Before that, I would like to start with a small prayer. Can you allow me, sir?
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Now I would like to request you, sir, please deliver your lecture. Hello. Say, there is any problem? Sir, can you please check your audio video? Sir, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Can allow me to screen share?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. So you have gone through a little bit about the yoga practices morning session. And my topic was yoga, diet, and healthy aging. So we kept as yoga because yoga we kept the schedule on the morning, and the diet and healthy aging. So we can just shift it to the evening session. So I'll be dealing with the diet and healthy aging. Hi, myself, Dr. Chandrasekhar, working as assistant professor and research associate in the Department of Pharmacology, AG Institute of Medical Science and Research Center, Bangalore. So nowadays, very health conscious aspects is going on because of the pandemic, isn't it? People are scared to go to a consultant or hospital because of so many various health issues. They are finding difficult how to maintain the healthy body by healthy diet, and how to become healthy by following some life principle. Okay, so see, now we'll start with this. What is diet? What we consume to live is diet, isn't it? What is aging? It is a continuous process, and it's a irreversible process. You can see, so you are young, and some part of the life we are going to become adult, and in other part of the life we are going to become old age. So we cannot come back from old age to again young age. So our life will be ending one or the other day, but we want what? Health. So we want to become healthy, and also we want to get aged also healthy. We don't want to suffer from any diseases during old ages. So what principle we can follow? As far as possible, we can follow some simple steps in life to get a very good healthy process. So what is that? What we need to follow the healthy lifestyle, we should follow some principles. We'll see. Now see, every bite you take is either fighting the disease like healthy foods or feeding it, that is junk foods. The choice is yours. Every sip you take is either fighting the disease or feeding it. Like we have tender coconuts, fresh juice and all. It fights the disease. Or if you go to alcohol and other contradictory drinks, then it feeds the disease. Every breath you take is either fighting the disease. You go to nature, you get the fresh air, or you go to traffic, pollution, it feeds the disease. That means it's going to cause respiratory problems. So this is what I want to tell. I'll just repeat back. Remember, so simple it is. Every bite you take is either fighting or feeding. Every sip you take is either fighting the disease or feeding it. Every breath you take is either fighting the disease or feeding it. So according to Ayurveda, what is health? What is swastha? Acharya Shushuta has mentioned in Sanskrit shloka, Samadosha, Samagnischa, Samadatu, Malakriya, Prasanna Atmendriya Manaha, Swastha Ityavidiyati. Now, what is the meaning of this? Acharya Shushuta describes the feature of healthy person in the following quote as: there must be equilibrium in doshas, the body elements, dhatus, the tissues, agni, the digestive fire or the GAT secretions, malas, the excretory organs, and all these should work in normal state. Not only that, even the atma, the spirit, indriyas, the sense organ, and the manas must also be in pleasant state, so that that person is called as a healthy person. Now, health is four dimensional: physical, mental or psychological, spiritual, and social, isn't it? If you see the WHO definition in 1940, it states health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. But later on, in recent more years, this statement has been modified. to include the ability to lead socially and economically. You need to get the things in a better economic way for the less cost, but still you should have a productive life. That is the recently added. Now we know we have evolved from ape to human, isn't it? But the world has changed. The scenario has changed. Oh my God. Now it become revolution from human to obesity. Now health is becoming again, now what? We are moving towards disease. Metabolic syndrome, this is just an example, is a cluster of conditions that occur together that increase the risk of heart disease, increase blood pressure and stroke, type 2 diabetes, excessive body fat around the waist, that is obesity, and abnormal cholesterol or triglyceride level. These all together or one or the other way, they contribute for a syndrome called as metabolic syndrome. It's a pool of disease, a cluster of disease. So you can see if we increase the body weight, heart disease, lipid problem, hypertension, diabetes, dementia, loss of memory, there's cancer, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now that's why we have a concept called as root to fruit. For a tree, if the root is good, the fruit will be good. So these are all the roots what you have. For body also, the root is stomach. So if we keep the stomach properly by giving healthy diets, the body will be fit. Suppose a small fruit is spoiled. If you treat the fruit, what's the use? One more fruit will get spoiled. But you have to find out what's the cause for the spoiling of the fruit. If the cause is near the root, you treat the root. The fruit will be good. The next fruit will be good. That's why we're telling we have to remove the root cause of the disease to get health. Now, ancient history, you can see great personalities who are dead now. They are given a good principle and the formula swasthasya swasthya rakshanam, that means to maintain the health of a healthy person. They add years to life and lives to years. And aturasya vikara prashamanascha, that means to cure disease in a diseased person. You see the regimen tries for healthy life. We have dinacharya, ratricharya, and rudracharya. I will explain this because don't get confused. What is this new term? Now, what is this dinacharya? Means daily regimen. What we should follow daily. Waking up, Brahmi Murta or pre-dawn, approximately 96 minutes before sunrise. It is told in classic text, indicates proper digestion of the previously had dinner and goddess Saraswati, the Brahmi, okay, Brahmi. Time for concentration, 4:30 to 6 a.m. That's what we tell. When we read in that time, we get a very good concentration. And what we read that can be retained in the memory. There is a Brahmi Muhurta. But I don't know how many of you are getting up between 4:30 to 6 a.m. We usually get up after 7 a.m., isn't it? I don't know. Most of you may be getting up after 7 a.m. If anybody is getting up before 7, is well and good. Before 6 is too good. And it's told in classic to see or touch auspicious things soon after you get up, like ghee, curd, mirror, white mustard, pale fruit, flowers, turmeric, cow, etc. These are the auspicious things we should either see or touch it soon after we get up. But what we do nowadays, visually, we see or touch immediately what? Our mobile to see what is the leftover messages, isn't it? That's a bad thing. Then daily regimen, you can see a nutritional, easily digestible sattvika ahara, means the diet which is suitable to health, that should be taken. And it's told that half of the stomach should be filled with solid food, 1/4 the liquids, and rest 1/4 should be left empty for proper air to circulate and ensure easy digestion, and also the water to penetrate the foodstuff for digestion. Now just see the mixer jar concept. On the left side, you can see the mixie. You fill half of the jar with the solid, 1/4 with liquids, and rest 1/4 should be empty. And you just turn on the mixie and see how easily you get the ingredients in a paste form. On the right side, you can see if you fill the mixie, the jar, with a full brim with very less water. If you switch on, what happens? It gets improperly mixed and becomes, it's a semi-paste, isn't it? It will not get properly powdered or paste form. The same way, it is told in classic, half of the stomach should be filled with solid food, 1/4 with liquids, and rest 1/4 should be left empty so that it will have easy digestion. If you fill up to the throat, the foodstuff, if you fill up to throat and not even taken a very good amount of water, what happens? It becomes indigested, isn't it? So what happens? It causes a condition called as or toxin. Sorry, toxin. That is the root cause of the disease. So you see on the left side why a person will suffer from disease. He has taken breakfast, full throat, lunch, full meals, and dinner also. So that person is suffering from obesity. And see on the right side, breakfast. You can have little more breakfast, no problem. Lunch and dinner, very less. So you can see the universal rule: eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Pauper is poor. Then it leads to health. So we have a concept of balanced diet. The balanced diet is that diet that contains adequate quantity of all the 6 main nutrients: fats, protein, carbohydrates, fibers, vitamins, and minerals. But very difficult to take nowadays. But still, I'll give some tips how to follow this balanced diet. Regarding intake of water, after brushing the teeth, gargle mouth with salted warm water with a pinch of turmeric powder in empty stomach, and should drink water, especially kept in copper utensils. This is what is told in classics. But if possible, only you can follow this. That we drink coffee or tea in empty stomach soon after we get up, isn't it? That's a root cause for the disease. So please avoid drinking coffee or tea in empty stomach. Especially tea is more dangerous than the coffee. And defecation, whenever you go for defecation, okay, should not speak, neither suppress nor initiate the urge of the natural cause, like if you defecate or even if you are urinating. But we usually what we do, we take mobile to a toilet, and most of us will try to strain during defecation. We put pressure, and that's the root cause of the, especially for piles. So never take mobile to the toilet and use it. Okay. Come to exercise, Vyayama, the physical exercise that is favorable for the mind and increase strength and firmness of the body is known as Vyayama, the exercise. So today you can do Vyayama exercise or you can do yoga also. Exercise does not always mean going to gym and doing some exhaustive exercise, as I told you. Even yoga, simple yoga is also best. Just you give a work to peripheral heart and you do some small meditation, that's enough. The doctor asked me to spend at least 1 hour per day on the treadmill. You want to do this? No. See, he has misunderstood what doctor wrote. He is spending 1 hour on the treadmill, but not working out. That should not be the criteria. You see the exercise effect. You can see the left side, extreme left. The person shown in red, obesity. As the person start doing exercise, the body become thinner and thinner and get a good shape and also leads to health. That's why we showed on the right side corner. So green. So green indicates good health. Red, you know, it is the disease indication. So most of the people are known we have only one heart, that is central heart, isn't it, in the chest region. But we also have 2 peripheral hearts, that is your calf muscle, soleus muscle. Many people don't know that we have 3 hearts. People think that we have only one heart, but we have 3 hearts. So these 2 soleus muscle or the calf muscle, they're called as peripheral hearts, that pumps the blood towards the heart. So always, what are the best and simple exercise? Normal or brisk walk, rule of 60. Cycling, rule of 60. Sit up exercise or stand up exercise, rule of 60. And lifting to and bringing it back with balance, rule of 60. So you may be wondering, what is the rule of 60? I will keep it as a secret and I'll tell later. So when you do all these things, it's simple exercise. It pumps the blood against the gravity to the heart. I'll show with a picture. Now you can see when the female start doing the exercise, you can see there. No, I just marked and showed this part. You can see here. You can see the hand. Otherwise, you can see the hand here, isn't it? So that means the body is getting good shape and it's moving towards health. Ratricharya, night regimen. What we'll do at the night? Don't take full meal at the night. I told you have to take dinner like a pauper or poor. Walk 100 steps before going to bed. pray God before going to bed, and go to bed with the first prahara of night. That is within 3 hours after sunset or 3 hours after dinner, preferably before 10 p.m. is what the right time to sleep. But nowadays we are watching movie late night and sleeping around 12 a.m. 12 a.m. is what is going to next day, not on that day. It's going to next day 12 a.m. So usually we are sleeping on the next day only. So that means we are harming the sleep awake cycle, isn't it? So either we are going immediately to the bed soon after intake of dinner. So that should not be practiced. Seasonal. So India is a country blessed with 6 different seasons as per classics. So we have autumn, winter, late winter, spring, summer, and rainy season. So we have in the classical text mentioned how to take this food stuff in this season. So I started with the number 5, Hemanta, Shishira, Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad. So we have winter, cold and heavy season, spring, summer, monsoon, autumn. So we can also has given based on the months like March 27th, April 21st. So it's not easy to follow this, but still on an average, we can do in what season we are, in what month we are. Now you can just see where we are. Now we are here, June to July, isn't it here? Can you see this? We are near the June to July. So we'll see what the seasonal regimen has been told in classics. So at least we can try to remember few and follow. Now, what is the Ritus in the name is seasonal junction? That means last 7 days of previous season and next 7 days of next season. That is almost 14 days. That's called Ritu Sandhya. And this is very, very vulnerable for most diseases. People used to get, health upset in this seasonal junction. And I'll tell you why it happens. Now, a few key things to remember in season. See, Vasanta Ritu, spring, February to March, March to April. The body will have very minimum strength. Foods to be taken like barley, wheat, and ginger. So your foodstuff should have most of these things. Vasanta Ritu, that is February, March, and March, April, food not to be taken heavy, sour, and sweet. And most people will suffer from this common disease, that is respiratory allergies and indigestion. Grishma Ritu, April, May, and May, June. So it will be excessively dry and hot. The strength of the body will be very lowest. And food to be taken is sweet, cold, liquid food, ghee, milk, and plenty of water to rehydrate the body. Otherwise, the patient will go for dehydration and exhaustion. Grishma Ritu, summer, April to May and May to June. Okay. Food not to be taken is excess of salt and bitter substances. Activities. Diva Swapna, only in this season, a nap during the daytime is allowed. Not sleeping, just a nap. Okay. Because this season is one which is extremely exhaustion, tiredness. So you can have a nap. Otherwise, in any other season, you should not sleep during daytime. Remember, otherwise it is known to cause kaphakaraka disease. So common disease, sunstroke, exhaustion, all you are going to suffer in this season. So you should be very careful. So usually we nap anytime and any season during daytime. That is not allowed. Only in this season, April to May, May to June. In this season, you can have a 5 to 10 minutes nap in the daytime. Okay, just to regain the strength what we lost during the work hours. Varsha Ritu, monsoon, anyhow, now the rainy season started June, July to August. So actually the digestive power is very stronger in this time. So we feel almost hungry because all the digestive power is got inside and it is very intensified. So the physical strength will be usually low. So food to be taken should be little bit, having the more of drinks, diet mixed with honey, salt, sour, oily foods, old cereals like barley and wheat can be taken. Never take warm or honey mixed with warm water. It is toxic, as told in classic text. Then June, July to July, August, you can see that disease usually people will be suffering from communicable disease, cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, and common interventions what we're going to maintain hygiene and consume healthy and nourishing foods. So this is now the season what we are following. So we should follow this. And also, this is if you follow this common principle, even you can able to get rid or come out of this pandemic if you follow the discipline and healthy lifestyle. August, September, October, the characteristic is sudden re-exposure to sun rays. So what happens? Suddenly you are getting exposed to one more kind of disease. So physical strength will be very moderate. So food to be taken should be sweet, light foods, bitter, honey and ghee are allowed in this season. Then Sharad Ritu, autumn, August, September, October. Food not to be taken is dahi, the curd, and also the curd should never be taken at night time. This is universal formula, and people usually will be suffering from anemic diseases in this season. October, November, December, physical strength will be good, and food to be taken should be sweet, sour, salt, honey, milk, and sugar cane. Then again the continuation, Hemanta, the early winter, food not to be taken, the dry food without oil, and most people will suffer from either joint pain, joint stiffness, and respiratory diseases. So you should be very careful in this season. And the last one, the Shishira winter, which is same as like early winter. So this is the seasonal changes and seasonal diet things you should follow. Now, what is this Viruddha Ahara, the incompatible foods? Now we'll come to the main topic. You can see here. See, beans is compatible with the grains, vegetables, other beans, nuts, and seeds, but it should not be mixed with the milk or yogurt. That is incompatible. That becomes toxin. Butter and ghee can be taken with grains, vegetables, beans, nuts, seed, meat, fish, egg, and cooked fruit. But butter may not combine with other foods as universal as ghee. So better avoid butter and use ghee. Cheese can be used with grains and vegetables, but is not compatible with the fruits, beans, eggs, milk, yogurt, and hot drinks. So whenever you go to some function, try to see which is compatible, which is not compatible, and take, because while taking it will be very tasty and delicious, but it is going to feed the disease, not fight the disease, as I told in my first slide. Milk, we have seen banana milkshake. It is toxic. Please avoid banana milkshake. It's incompatible. Milk also should not be used with cherries, melons, sour fruits, yes, bears, and eggs, yogurt. So many we have in incompatible foods is not allowed. Yogurt can be taken with grains and vegetables, but not with the milk and fish. You try, you suffer from diarrhea. If you take yogurt with fish or milk, no, you'll get diarrhea. Eggs with milk is also incompatible. We have seen many people putting egg, raw egg to the hot milk and drinking. It causes diseases. Fruits with any other food aside from the exception days, that is with milk and some cooked combination, is not allowed. So we have so many milkshake in juice center that is not compatible. Lemons with cucumber, tomato, milk, and yogurt. We have a vegetable salads, but you should know what should be combined and what should not be considered. A simple formula, otherwise it leads to disease. Melons, especially, is not compatible with the dairy, eggs, fried foods, and etc. as you see in this chart. So I kept a few more things. So you can just see this, which is compatible, which is incompatible. So we have a tetras of healthy lives, exercise, adaptation, and drugs. So if without this, you will not get a healthy life, isn't it? But you convert this into triads: diets, drugs, exercise, and adaptation. Now, why I kept this diet and drugs on the top, we'll see. Because today, if you eat drug, okay, today if you eat diet as drugs, means in a little quantity. Tomorrow you don't have to eat drugs as foods. Otherwise, doctor may prescribe drugs in the following order: 1 tablet or capsule of drug, maybe XYZ, before and after breakfast in the morning. 1 tablet or capsule XYZ after afternoon, that is before or after lunch. Again, before and after dinner, before sleep. Maybe 1 plus extra capsule or gems or eye drops. All those things, if you are taking every day, then you may get sick of your life. That I am taking a whole day, 1 other tablets. So nobody wants to get like this kind of life who are taking most of the pills per day. So adaptation, you should adapt in the family, in the workplace, in the environment, isn't it? And society. Otherwise, lack of adaptation will lead to stress, plus added improper diet will lead to disease. Now you take 1 rotten or spoiled tomato and keep it in a basket with the fresh tomatoes. And within next few days, what you're going to see? The single tomato which is rotten will going to spoil all of the tomatoes, isn't it? So in the same way, the cancer is also has the same origin. One cell, if we become depressed, is going to damage other cells, and all these things because of our unhealthy food habits. Carbohydrates is known to feed any potential cancer cells. So body has capacity to heal itself and identify cancer cells as foreign bodies to initiate the program cell death. So just help it with your healthy lifestyle changes. Otherwise, the cancer cell will overtake your immune system and try to harm the body. And simple experiment I have done in my life, just I took sugar, jaggery, artificial sweetener, and we have a leaf called stevia leaf. Okay, you can just extract the juice from this by pinching and roll it with the wheat and keep it near the ant nest and see what the ant will take. Few ants will, or most of the ants will take sugar. Few ants will take jaggery also, and few ants will also take artificial sweetener, which has a minimal calories. But stevia leaf will not be taken by ants, but the stevia leaf will be having sweet taste. But why ant doesn't take? Because ant knows in sugar, jaggery, and artificial sweetener, one or the other little bit about calories are there. But the stevia has sweet taste, but it doesn't has calorie. We like sweet taste, but we indirectly take calories. But as ant knows that it don't want taste, ant want calories. That's why it take this sugar, jaggery, and artificial. So what you can do, if anybody is having a habit of taking this sugar, and if they're diabetic, you can substitute your sugar or sugar products with the stevia leaf. It is available in the market. Stevia, remember the stevia. Stevia powders are there and stevia liquids are there. And even you can get this plant in the nursery. You can grow in the house and you can just pluck 2-3 leaves, smash it to remove the juice, and you can add 1 or 2 drops to coffee or tea. It is as good as sugar, but it does not contain calories. So very good and healthy practice. Tips for healthy life. If you care for your stomach, minimize cold food. If you care for your kidney, drink enough and sufficient water in daytime, especially in summer, and less in winter. Drink less water in night before sleep, and always less intake of salt. If you care for your throat, use pepper frequently. If you care for your brain, sleep for 8 hours minimum. If you care for your intestine, replace junk foods with vegetables. If you care for your ears, pour garlic mixed oil in ears for frequently, maybe weekly once, or even coconut oil or sesame oil also holds good. If you care for eyes, instill rose water twice a week and cover with a wet cloth for 3 minutes. If you care for nose, eat mint regularly. Okay, that's mentha. If you care for your heart, avoid excess salt. If you care for your liver, avoid excess fatty foods. And if you calculate the 24 hours, 8 hours for sleep, 8 for work and activities on an average, 7 for other activities, and reserve 1 hour for physical and mental exercise. Very, very important tips. So fact right, we spend approximately 50% in sleep and rest in our life. Approximately 45% in education work, rest 5% for ourselves. In that 5% also, we are showing anger, grief, jealousy, hatredness, fight, lust, greed, revenge, etc. with a very less smile and love. So we should not waste that 5%. See, calculation lifespan, adult 30 years. So infant child, birth to 18 years, and elderly. So 60 and above. So here we see the infant child and elderly are both are equal. So they are like child only, both are. So only in adult life, 30 years, we have everything in abundance in our body. So what we should do, we should make maximum utilize of that. So please understand the lifespan and utilize it properly. So foods and drugs should be considered similar to the infant, child, and elderly. Should not be too much fat, too much of salt, too much of sugar for both infant and child or elderly. In adult, even if it's little excess, also we can able to digest, but not for the infant and child or elderly. So you should able to plan accordingly. Rule of 60, as I told, I kept one secret initially. I told what is rule of 60. Any good habits continuously done for 60 days without a miss becomes a habit from 61st day. You can try this. What we do, just try to get up before 6 a.m. Sit up, stand up, exercise, meditation, whatever you do, just continue to do whatever may be the difficulty for 60 days. keep an alarm and get up at 5 a.m. every day for 60 days. You will automatically get up at 5 a.m. before alarm rings from 61 days afterwards. That means you have conditioned your brain for the rule of 60. And sometimes, if you don't get up at proper time, you feel some uneasiness. So body will get conditioned. This is called rule of 60. So any good habits you want to do, please do for at least 60 days, and see 61st day it becomes habit. That's called rule of 60. So my experience with the patient, so what I did, I got a patient who has got thyroid, TSH, more than 150, normal is 0.5 to 5.5. So patient was on thyroid hormone supplement. So what I did, just I told and I advised these things. I told the patient to avoid this mm, non-iodized salt and use always iodized salt. Avoid coffee or tea in the empty stomach, and avoid cauliflower, cabbage, potato, and soya. Avoid fried foods, mild to moderate exercise. Stop taking curds at night, and reduce thyroid supplement 12.5 to 25 to 12.5. Then slowly, the patient followed for 6 months, and finally I stopped the thyroid supplements. And patient came at the end of 6 months with TSH 3.3 normal. Stop thyroid supplement and now control only with diet and exercise. Then one more patient who came with a complaint of excess urination, sweating, excess hunger, and all. When I checked the blood glucose level, FBS 160, normal is 70 to 110, PPVS 220, normal is less than 160, and HbA1c 14.1, normal is less than 6. So what I did for the patient, I told the patient advise completely stop rice, wheat, maida, white flour, and other carbohydrates. Use ragi and other millets in place of rice all the 3 times. Intake of orange, papaya, and guava frequently. The fruits. Consume unripened jackfruit, very good for diabetes. And more of vegetables and green leafy vegetables, and moderate exercise and meditation. The patient came back after 6 months. You know, no medicine now. FBS 109, PPS 146, and HbA1c 7.1. It has been reduced. Renal stone, one more patient, 23 mm, and there was a residual urine in the bladder which was showing in the scanning. So complaints of difficulty in micturition, and the patient was advised on antibiotics, diuretics, and surgical interventions. So what I did, I just gave some powders of Pashana Beda. It's called as Bargenia ciliata or lingulata. Decoction in empty stomach early morning. Gokshura decoction every night, and frequent intake of tender coconut water and sugarcane juice, all for 4 months. After that, the stone size becomes 6.6 mm, no residual in bladder, and no difficulty in maturation. Nevertheless, prevention is better than cure. So tonight, if I sleep, following all the principle of life for health, tomorrow I wish I wake up either here in this world, in this current world, thanking the health, or there without suffering in the other world, that is outside world. But I never want to see myself next day morning in ICU with suffering, isn't it? So to attract health, avoid saying, I hate my body, I don't have the energy, being healthy is difficult. Just instead say, I love my body, I am filled with energy, my body is strong, just like my mind. So in your workplace, you have to think that I'm at a place in life where peace is a priority. I deliberately avoid certain people to protect my mental, emotional, and spiritual state. So I just isolate myself from them. I'm no longer in competition anyway with others. I'm competing with myself to be better than today for tomorrow in terms of physical, mental, social, and spiritual well being for a comprehensive health. Ultimately, death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what things we know dies inside us while we live. So, who is the best doctor for you? It's yourself. So, don't say, I want happiness. Remove I, you'll get rid of ego. Remove want, you'll get rid of desire. What remains is only happiness. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is very informative presentation you present today. And any one of the attendees have any questions? Do you like to convey any message, sir? Dr. Arvind said good, good talk, doctor. Okay. Anyone have any questions? I guess no. Sir, any advice from you?
All the advice I have given in my presentation. So just if they follow, so 50% of these advices, they will get a healthy life.
If you have any questions in further also, you can contact us at the editor.kerf@gmail.com. And thanks for you, thanks all of you for your presence. And thank you, Dr. Chandrasekhar sir, for very informative talk today. It's a feast of information for everyone because health is for everyone and health is wealth. So
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. On the occasion of the International Yoga Day, this beautiful information we all required, and you presented it so very gracefully. So thanks you very much, and have a great time ahead to all of you. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.